YouTube, welcome back to episode number 2 of the Woodland Scenics Learning Kit series in collaboration with worldoftrains.ch. Yes, in the first episode we did build something with this, what was it called? I can't remember the name. It is scalper sheets or something, or shaper sheets, yes. And I have to say I don't really like it, so we will do it in another way. But today, in episode number 2, we're talking about rock faces, yes. And I have to admit, I already filmed the first part of this series when I was doing all the rocks out of the plaster, or out of this one here, and I erased it. So we have to start over again, but instead I won't show you how I did the rocks. Then let it dry for around an hour or two, and then you can already take it out. But you have to be really patient, and it is really hard to take it out without destroying them. But if you manage to do so, then you get something like this out of it. Yes, and this is now rock solid. Wait a moment, I will get you a little closer. So I got you a little closer because you don't need to see my head or my face for this, but you have to hear me talk. Sorry. After that, you get this one out of it, like these rock faces, and they have really nice structure on it, and they are ready for your model railroad wherever you need them. And here we have some smaller ones. I also did, and here you see a broken one. Yes, this happens, but you can glue it together, or you can just leave it like that and carve it a bit. That's no problem. But we also will, or I also will show you how to paint them. And now we will do this like they say. So on every learning kit in the back you have the how you do it. That's pretty cool and pretty neat. So we are now on this face because I already did something to go on in this series, because I really like how this rock face turned out here. I used here some other stuff I already know really good, and I can say this is one of the greatest plaster to work with. It's MeForShape, hashtag not sponsored, but today we don't talk about MeForShape. It's still drying. That's because it's still dark gray. In the end it is white when it's more or less fully dried out. And then here we have some rocks from Woodland Scenics rock face structures. Yes. And now we will paint them. And how we do it? Also inside are all these things. So wooden mixture, something. Then there's Aria the cat, the supervisor. She's jumping around. Maybe she will come into the picture soon. And we have meow some colors. Those are the same colors we had in the first video, in the first episode, and we can still use them because there's plenty still left. So they tell me now, color rock castings using the leopard spot paint technique. Dilute earth colors, liquid pigments in individual disposable cups to create color washes. Measure with teaspoon. Secondary color washes. Part yellow ochre to 1 part yellow ochre to 16 parts water. So it's really thin. And we will see if we can do this without a spoon, because the spoons are upstairs. And now I need, you just need a little cup where you can put in all the stuff. So, and you can always mix them by yourself. They only say use 16ths of blah blah blah. So I take a little bit of water, and then this is a bit stupid because you have to, they are all in the same thing. Maybe I can put them away. Yes, I can. So, because first we have to shake it a little, and what I really need next is an electrical, an automatic color shaker, because they are awesome. So now we put in a little bit, just a little, like this. Yeah, and then, okay, stupid MJ. And now we have really much of this color in here. So that means I will try to mix it a bit, and now we see, okay, it's pretty yellow and pretty thick. So we will add a little more water to thin it. And remember, we will use this leopard, I want to say tiger, no, leopard style to add this. And I showed you in the first episode, but this is just dipping in the color and then just dipping it a little over the rocks. And as you can see, it's pretty thin, so this will run down, and in some spots it will hold, and in some spots not. And this is where you get the color variations. And so here we will add, in another episode we will add other stuff. And I have to say, this sponge, I don't really like it. I have another one because I have this one. It's a normal sponge, but I think you can, with the dipping method, you can work better. See? Now I can add just on some spots, and it does not really run down. Well, it still runs down, but you have already a nice and a better looking texture than before. You can do this with whatever sponge you have around. Don't take the ones from your wife or from the kitchen or from whatever. Go buy a separate one, otherwise there will be war. So we have more or less colored the stones, and remember, we will only color the stones because the ground texture is for another episode. Maybe, I think episode number 3, yes, will it be, but more to that later. So you add this so thin, in thin layers. Now you have to let it dry. Then you take the next color, you will add this one, and then in the end, with a really thin black wash over everything, and then you get the stone look, the rock face look. They also tell here it's 1 part yellow, 16 parts water, or 1 part burnt umber to 16 parts water. And the dominant color wash is 1 part black to 32 parts of water, so double the amount of water. And after that, dab randomly over 1/3 of a rock face, rinse the foam applicator. Yes, dab randomly over 1/3 of the rock face, rinse the foam applicator, and apply on the entire rock. So, okay, only a third. But I did the whole. In the end, apply over the entire rock face if desired, spray rock with scenic cement to seal color. If desired, spray rock with scenic cement, so to close the rock face, and so you don't wash away the color or whatever. Maybe we can already try to apply the second color. I put this one on the side. And because I have a lot of these little boxes, and that's great. And now I try to add only a bit of this brown. Well, I show you the supervisor. There's the supervisor. She's always watching and having a great look on what I'm doing when I'm down here talking to you and creating awesome stuff. Or try to create awesome stuff. Back to work. Shake this one and then try to open it without exploding. Yes, just a tiny bit. It worked better this time. The thing is with thin paint, as thinner you get with your mixtures, then more layers you can add till you have an effect. So that means if we now put this on, you can't really see something, right? There is not much of a difference, but it's just a little wet. And there is not really something happening. So there is not much really happening, but you can add just a thin layers, and in the end you have many different colors on it. And I mean, if there is from some colors not enough on it, then you can just add again, and maybe we will add a bit more of brown in it, so just to show you the difference. Like this. Yeah, it's a learning by doing. I can only show you how I do it, and you have to find your own way. Because in the end, it has to work for you, not for me. My technique works for me. Maybe it will help you also, but there's no guarantee. But at least you can try. Say, oh, okay, train scale. I did try your technique. Not everything works for me, but it's a great technique. And I will try it again. And as you now can see, it is maybe a bit too much yellow. I think we have to really let this dark brown wash dry. And then when it's dry, we can add another layer, maybe a bit thicker layer of brown. You can see now there are some lines building, and those are some shadows, or also some other colors in the rocks. So it will work in the end, but you need some patience and many layers on those rock faces. And I mean, maybe you say, yeah, well, but this color doesn't work for me. This color is too bright or too shiny, it's too yellow. Yeah, go out and look in nature, what nature does, and maybe you will find a rock face that you want to recreate, or you're modeling because you're modeling a special place in the world, like I do in my N-scale project, in my 2 N-scale projects, or also in my HO scale project, or maybe also in my Z scale project. So just go and watch on Google Maps, or just Google and Google pictures from from a specific area, and look how the rocks are painted or what color they have, and try to recreate them. So this is maybe some North American West or something, I'm not sure, maybe it's center. But in the end we will also have to add stuff on here. But for now we let this dry. I will even try to add a bit more brown to it. But I would say it's getting closer. The rocks are getting closer to where we want to have them. And as you can see, it's a big mass, but it's only a thin layer of water, so this should not make big of a difference, or it should not destroy your model railroad when you're building those rock faces or coloring it. Or I mean, you could color them right before you add them, so you can just color it right now here and then add them to your model railroad. That's also no problem. You can just paint them like this and add them later to your layout. That's no problem. But I did it for the video. I added them here, built this small diorama off camera, so you don't have to watch me build this and wait. Now I'm starting to like them, because with the black wash we will blend all in, and then they get darker. We let this dry. I would say it's starting to look like a rock face. And then we will add the last layer, the black wash. I already made a mixture. Maybe it's a bit too much. Yeah, no, it should work. It will tone it down from this yellowish orange look. And I mean, in the end, if it's still too bright, because at the moment I have to say it looks really bright, we still can add just another layer, maybe a bit more color in it, and then it will blend even more. Whoa. It will blend even more. But for the sake of the video, we will keep it like that. As well, maybe I will add some more black layers. But I say they already look pretty decent. I don't know, let me know in the comments. How do you like my orange looking rocks? Yeah, maybe they're really a bit too orangey. I say it will work. And if we add some more stuff to the diorama, it will all blend together. I would say this is it. Now you have to let it dry, and then you can work on, do other stuff, add more stuff, like ground cover, bushes, trees, water features, whatever. But for this episode, I would say we call it done. For this episode, I would call it done. The rock faces, you now know how to use a mold where you can put the plaster in it. Hydrocal. It's not plaster, it's hydrocal. Sorry for that. Yes, you put the hydrocal in it, leave it alone, let it dry, put it out. Then you have this one. Put this on a layout, and you're good. You have a rock face. You have a naturally looking, like in the nature, rock face. That's it for episode 2. In the next episode, we will go to the landscape learning kit. Yes, we will add grass and everything to this small diorama we built out of all these Woodland Scenics learning kits. As always, thanks for watching, and see you in episode number 3. Bye bye.